Hello and merry meet to you all. I am Willow, bringing you another witchy and educational show. So today's show is a follow-on from our Witchy 101 show, going back to the beginning where we were talking about different types of witches. Now, at the minute, I am uploading videos on the most popular witches, and the other ones that I have mentioned also will be put up onto my channel over time. But the main witch categories I'm trying to get covered now, just making sure that my music bit don't turn off. So obviously I've had a few videos that have already been put up onto the channel. So this week's witch is our Hearth witch. So today we're going to be talking about her categories, her characteristics, how she works as a spiritual practitioner, and just giving you some general information about how they work. So hopefully from doing this, you'll be able to pick up some useful information, maybe be able to establish a path that you're wanting to take. By doing these videos, hopefully we give you that chance and that ability to be able to more look into who you think you may be, whether you're going to be a witch or a spiritual practitioner, or maybe you're just somebody that believes in the higher vibrational energy and you just believe in making the world a little bit better. Whatever sort of practitioner you're going to be, it all comes down to the fact of knowing what you're going to be doing and doing it correctly and safely. Magic's not a joke and should be took very seriously. It's not something that you just bring in and out of your life. It's something that is for life. It is you as a person. It is you as your being. It's a lifestyle. So I'm really looking forward to talking about the Hearth witch to you, because she has a couple of little tendencies and things about her. So I have got like two pictures. I'll put one picture up to do through the video, and then I'll put the last one at the end. I'm obviously going to be talking and giving you information and details on what she is, how she practices, what she brings into her practices, her places of worship, all these sort of things. So I hope that you do enjoy. I send you lots of love, light and blessings. I thank you for joining me again today, and blessed be to you all. And let's start the show. I will have the camera off and let's begin. So, the Hearth witch. First, I think it's really important that you remember that when you learn to love and let yourself be loved, you come home to the hearth of your own spirit. You are warm and settled. You are completely at one in the house of your own longing and belonging. And this is very much a trait that a hearth witch gives off. She's very happy in her home, very comfortable in her home. She will use a lot of her magical practice within the home as well, which are very similar to some other characteristics of witches, such as green witch, house witch, all of these sort of categories. So, the Hearth witch combines the energies of green witch and kitchen witch, guided by the magic of the home. She is both the wild and the wise woman, or he. While the Hearth witch is in tune with nature, it is the green witch who wants to make her home in nature. The Hearth witch wants to invite nature and all her elements inside for biscuits and tea, as they would say. So she wants to invite them into the home. She incorporates those beliefs in the energies that she works with within her practice that she performs. She will bring that and illustrate that through her home. She works to strengthen and honour the home as a sacred space, making it simple, peaceful and nourishing. Also known as a hedge witch, the wise woman or wise man, herb wives, wild herb men, and cunning folk record and accounts show that virtually every village at one point in Europe has had a healing person of sorts. Other folklore stories tell of herbal healers in many other cultures. The Hearth witch's practice is part of herbalism, part energy, part healing, and part counseling, and part nature mysticism. Hearth witches are usually tuned into the four elements and they observe nature's cycles, rhythms, and pauses very closely. The practice is known as hearth crafting, and hearth crafting is essential to the hearth witch magical homemaking activities, such as making candles, making natural dye and fabric garments, weaving, knitting, and sewing are all the things that the hearth witch finds grounding and sacred to her, to her practice, and to her home. Essentially, the hearth witchcraft is a daily living mindfulness practice to transform the mundane into the magical. The mundane means having the natural and normal way of life without magical stuff in it, just like your basic life that most people normally would live if they're not spiritual practitioners and that, and then finding the magic within that place. The hearth witch may feel unbalanced if she lacks creativity, if she gets behind on her to-do list, or if she just needs a cup of hot tea and a good book. Though not always introverts. It's not uncommon to find hearth witches flying solo, and not two will be exactly alike. So a lot of people that are coming and watching these shows are probably sitting there and wondering, well, am I a hearth witch? Do I have those categories? Do I have those tendencies? Would it fit with me? Well, we're just about to find out. Am I a hearth witch? You might be a hearth witch if you do these things. You prefer your secret space to be uncomplicated with simple natural tools such as stones, some wood, perhaps a few herbs and some salts, and just the natural sources of the elements and of earth and nature. You like things to be multiple purpose. Rose vinegar would easily work as a headache remedy, a countertop spray, and a salad dressing. So you very much like to incorporate your herbs and your other things into different forms in your home. So rose vinegars could be used in food, multi-purposes and stuff. You could make oils and stuff that you can use to clean your home. Some of these remedies would be very good for things like your headaches and stuff as well. So you incorporate a lot of your things you have in your home into different multiple things to use for daily living and for yourself. You are drawn to the healing arts such as bodywork, midwifery, energy healing, and herbalism. You love learning about herbs and healing plants. Your garden teaches you more about magic than nature than any book you've ever read. So you have the natural elements to nature. Nature has been your teacher. Nature has been your way of seeing and opening. And you've not needed the material things to be able to do that. You practice daily mindfulness. You believe that even small acts such as watering the plants can transform the mundane into the magical. meaning when you go out and you start talking to your plants, you start watering your plants, you start putting that love and that energy, it somehow makes them grow, flourish. It brings a form of energy into that secret place that you're watering and you're looking after, and you feel that magic. And obviously, when you're watering your plants, you're obviously growing these plants because they're going to be things that you use in your magical practices, maybe in your food, because obviously hearth witches do take on kitchen forms and the green witch form, which is both outside witches and witches that like to work within the home and work with foods. So she very much brings all of that in. So little things such as watering her plants and loving them and giving them that magical purpose is very important to a hearth witch. You also believe in the power of song and chants. You will find that many hearth witches, when doing their practices, whether they're cooking or they're doing a spell or working or they're just doing a simple cleansing or anything like that, you will find that a lot of hearth witches very much like to communicate, connect, and to bring their magic through in forms of song and through chants, which is chants through ritual to make things happen. Now, these sort of hearth witches would be known as the more older and elder witches, but you've got the modern hearth witches as well that we've got to talk a little bit about as well. So, the modern hearth witch may find that her home is not in harmony if she feels that her life is lacking a sense of warmth and refuge. She strives to provide a nourishing home for all whom enter, but may forget to nourish her own spirit in the process. You do find that with hearth witches, they're so busy that they do forget to do the little things that can help them as well, because they're so busy trying to help the world and people and all the other things. Hearth witches also have a strong connection to other worldly energies, such as elements, the four colours. Some can be known to have the element of shamanism. Nature is important to the hearth witch as much as her own home is. Hearth witches have deep connections to animals, and some say that some hearth witches can talk and understand animals, and animals seem to be very drawn to these types of witches. Hearth witches are very connected in healing practices. They are said to be some of the strongest healers known in the craft. They connect deep with energy and vibrations of our plants, our planet Earth, and to use the energy for healing and helping others. Hearth witches are known to use other forms of magic in their practices. This magic does not always take place in the kitchen. It is done in a secret space inside the home or outside. Hearth witches help many people and are known to use other forms of magic they have learned naturally or by family handing it down. Now going into part two. So some people ask, what is a hearth witch? So here's some tips for secret housekeeping as well. This is one of their aspects that they use a lot. Hearth witches focus and use a lot of their magic around their home and bring the elements of their home into their magic, and their home itself is their secret space. So many different types of secret housekeeping, cleansings and blessings and things would be performed by hearth witches, and you will hear this through the video. A hearth witch is a home-centered witch who focuses their energies on creating secret spaces and weaving the magical into the mundane. They do not usually feel the need to equip themselves with fancy tools or do elaborate rituals, and like to get creative with what they have in their own kitchen or their garden, home, etc. They like to craft things for the home, such as candles, sewing projects, witchy home decoration, protective amulets, or anything that enhances daily living or serves to create sacred space. Many think hearth witches need to live in a little cottage in the country, but you can be a hearth witch anywhere, including the big city. Urban hearth witches have to connect with the energetic challenges of scarce worldness, noises, construction, and many humans in close vicinity. For urban witches, the craft is a little different than countryside witches, but no less powerful. Your hearth, which is meaning finding the energy and the source and feeling of home, which is bringing you that happiness and that goodness. It's also obviously representing just the normality of your life as well. So hearth witches share some qualities with kitchen witches and green witches and head witches, and these can sometimes overlap within the same witch. Their practices all carry an earthly, folky quality, including a love of using herbs in cooking or in medicine making. The hedge witch is a term sometimes used interchangeably with hearth witch, although hedge witch can also refer to a witch who spends their time flying the hedge or walking in the liminal realms, traveling in spirit. They can do this through entering a trance like meditative state, seeking guidance from the spirits and bringing back those messages to the earthly realm. Most personally identify as both the hearth witch and a hedge witch, as they spend a lot of energy on keeping their homes and their gardens with spiritual intent and sensitivity, as well as journeys into the liminal realms to gain insight on their spiritual path. So, hearth witches most definitely do take on the green witch characteristics and the hedge witch characteristics, and even also sometimes the kitchen as well. All of these illustrations are very much brought into the witch that is known as a hearth, because obviously her practice is based around her home or in nature, which would be a garden, or maybe she's got a little forest or something near her. But wherever it is that she does her practical magic and her services that she opens herself to, it all is very much home and very secret to this practitioner. For many, being a hearth witch is also a path of embodying and radiating a sense of being at home within yourself and tending your inner flame of spirit, which I call the hearth flame within. Hearth witchery, hearth witchery involves developing the ability to create a sense of home wherever you go, and you share that with others close to you. This means that you not only prioritize keeping your home in a secret way, but you tend to your body and your spirit with a similar reference. Your path involves embodying the divine feminine and energy of inner groundness and radiance that comes from the tending your hearth flame within and without. Some people I notice would ask such things as, how do I become a hearth witch? So let's try to cover this a little bit. Your path to hearthcraft is a recurrent one. At first, in your early years, you may have started to identify as a witch, but wasn't quite sure what type of witch you was yet, as this takes time and experimentation to discover. You probably never would have thought at the time that being a hearth witch would appeal to you. It may have been something you would not know much about. You might have joined covens or followers of other witches. You might have read tons of books learning about all kinds of witchery, perspectives, and paths. You may feel like you could go in several different directions with your craft and your magic. Life can make you get the hearth which ways by housekeeping, which is keeping it. Try that again. Life can make you get the hearth which ways by housekeeping. It becomes everything you need. Caring for others in your life also. Constant laundry, cooking, cleansing, and endless chores to stay afloat. All this is what hearth witches focus on along with nature. Sometimes you can feel too busy for your craft, but bringing things into what you love is a hearth witch's best abilities, balancing magic and real life together. You can look into books and go to places like libraries or follow other people to learn about and to get research on what hearth witchery and hearth witches are, as it will not only help you bring magic into your housekeeping chores, but it also will make you feel more deeply nourished and revitalized when you're at home. One of the key things is creating a secret space and weaving magic into the mundane. Firstly, you may feel that the word chores can bring up really bad feelings, so why don't you change them to housekeeping workings, rituals, or spells? That sounds so much more exciting and pleasant. In your housekeeping rituals, you'll keep in mind your goal to create a sanctuary, a secret space, a dwelling for the divine, which nourishes you and your loved ones. Your housekeeping rituals become an act of service, in some cases to the gods and goddesses of choice, in their many forms, as well as your spiritual well being. The Greek goddess Hestia of Roman Vesta is a goddess specifically linked to the hearth witchery, and she was honoured in many ways, included by the Vestal virgins who tended her flame in ancient temples. But you don't have to honour any specific deity to be a hearth witch. Your magic is your own. Be how you wish in good intentions. Housekeeping rituals can be a service to your own soul as well as whatever you feel is divinity. It is about creating a space that allows the divine energies of the universe to flow through it. It is about grounding and secret into your abode. Again, you can research on all of the aspects of the Hearth Witch and how she works with her home and how she does different types of spells, rituals, and everyday workings by going through books, following other people that are spiritual practitioners, looking into libraries, researching and studying online. There are courses, there are many things that you can look to get more educated and in tune. So here are 10 ways to bring magic into your home. These are some of the forms that you could try yourself just to help you to be able to become more connected. Start the day with a land honoring grounding practice. You can do a smoke cleansing ritual to the spirits of the land you live on. Take notice of the land, reach out to the ancestors, and give thanks to them for letting you make your home where you are. You may wish to acknowledge the four elements or create a daily ritual that grounds you into the place you live, its history, and the people. Be connected with your hearth of your home and spend time there daily in replenish. The hearth of your home is the secret power spot or energy center of your home. It is different for each dwelling, but it is the place that you feel most relaxed, nourished, and grounded. Often, if you have been had people over to visit, they naturally gravitate to this area. Once you have located this area, acknowledge it by cleansing and blessing it, creating an altar there, and decorating it in a way that honors its spiritual essence and tend to it with love. Spend more time there doing things that nourish your soul or make you feel good. Surround yourself with colors and textures that speak to your soul rather than latest fashion. Use natural fabrics and items in your decor, like found rocks, homegrown herbs, art you've made, or creations that hold meaning for you. A hearth witch's home is soul, nourishing, and meaningful, and that may or may not follow the decorating trends of the moment of today. It will be 9 times out of 10 quite old, and it brings in that old factor into the home, but a very magical, very secret space, a place that you wouldn't normally expect. And normally, when you walk into a hearth witch's home, you're like, wow, because there's just so many beautiful things around. They are very, very creative. You can set up an altar in your kitchen, regardless of whether the kitchen is the hearth of your home or not. You are likely going to be spending significant time there. Having an altar with beautiful, inspiring objects, seasonal flowers, and candles, and other items that speak to your soul will help take the edge off those long hours cooking and cleaning. It will serve as a reminder of the sacredness of the work you are doing and infuse it with positive energy. The kitchen altar keep a balance of elements in each room. Earth, air, fire, and water are best balanced in harmony in each room. You can represent each element through the colors you use, such as warm colors for fire, light colors for air, blue for water, and earth tones for earth. You can represent the elements with items such as candles, incense, feathers, bowls, flowers, shells, etc. Each room will have a unique elemental requirement based on its purpose, but that is a whole other topic. So just try to have a general elemental balance. Listen to the house itself and honor it like a living being. Your house's personality is like a classy elderly woman with low tolerance for clutter and a need for quiet. She is discerning as to who she will let in. She will get to know about stuff she like. You will get to know about stuff she likes and dislikes. Your home is the soul of your magic, so make sure you care for her, give her love and thanks as much as you can. Build your secret bond with her. Do a nice secret area dedicated to your home. Something special that shows the connection between you and her. Every house has its unique vibe and will encourage its stewards to live a certain way. If you work in harmony with your home, it will take care of you. Take time to get to know them and what their needs are. Think of clutter as a negative energy because it is. It can create stagnation. Clutter is the physique and hamper the energy flow in your home. As much as decluttering can be annoying or exhausting, your home and physique will be much freer and healthier when you do declutter. This isn't to say it's a problem to keep meaningful, beautiful things around you, and you don't need to be minimalist. Keep whatever serves you and your happiness, but get rid of anything that is never used, collecting dust, broken, or takes your energy in yourself. Something you could try to do when you're cooking. As you are cooking, try saying a little prayer or give thanks to all the people who made it possible for each ingredient to make it to your table. Try stirring or frying loving intentions and wishes into your food. When you are stirring a pot, you stir in clockwise to put out a wish or an intention into your food. You don't necessarily have to have rhythming charm to say. You just speak from the heart, often silent, but you can speak out loud too if you wish. Send in your love and intention into your food. Think of the more thankfulness chore. Think of the more thankfulness chores as nourishing actions. Things like doing dishes, folding laundry, and picking up after the kids can be really thank- thankless. As a result, are only experienced for mere seconds sometimes. Remember that every dish washed is a service of nourishing someone with food. Every shirt you fold is to keep someone warm, and every toy picked up is both a accident prevented and an example of teaching to your kids for the future. Life really is in the details, and I believe that little things do matter, especially when we see them as the building blocks of the goal and the big picture we desire. Make your workspace and sanctuary. Whether you work from home or at an office, it can be very beneficial to bring some good vibes to your desk and workplace. Crystals, candles, aromatherapy sprays, inspiring images can all help to boost your mood and your mind. You can rid negative vibes and keep a nice workspace in a non-obstructive with no non-obstructive by using tools like salts, bowls, smudging kits, drum music, good intention, prayers. These tools will not only help you cleanse the energy, but also represent earth and water. You can add to your desk the tea light candle and a little feather or a cute image of a bird. Put them out round and woohoo, you've got all four of the elements covered, which are important to the Hearth Witch also. Be happy and do what is right for you and your home to reach your goals. Being you and being true means a happy witch and a happy craft magic. And just remember, my angels, enjoy your home, have a deep connection with your home. Remember, your home is your secret place and your soul of practice. Listen, observe to all she needs and shows you. Be the best, be the best for you and for your home and for your loved ones. So that's a little bit of information on the Hearth Witch, my angels. So obviously, the Hearth Witch is very much centered at home, and She does a lot of her ritual stuff through doing kitchen work, doing garden work, doing different things within her home, like decoration, making candles, sewing. She just does all of the natural ways of life. You know, the things that you would normally expect to see your nan or your auntie or somebody, an elderly person, doing. These things are what the Hearth Witch would do, bringing more modern things in as well. But when you do walk into a Hearth Witch's home, you'll find that it's very, very secret and it feels very powerful because of the healing energy they hold as well. Hearth Witches are very known for their healing and are known to be some of the best healers, to be honest. And when you walk into the homes, you just have that sense of calmness and ambience. You feel welcomed and comfortable in their homes. They're very wise, very acknowledgeable, very open. A lot of their knowledge and their wisdom comes from ancestors, comes from elders in their families that have, handed information and spells and crafting and books and things down to them. The Hearth Witch, most definitely 9 times out of 10, will work solitary, working on her own. She likes to have her own rules and incorporations, but some of them do bring in their religious way. But a lot of them are just solitary, believe in the natural world and nature and doing the best. Obviously, these sorts of witches are known to do earth magic as well, healing, doing things with chakra, all these sort of things they're very connected to. You'll find these sort of characteristics of witches will work very much with candles and crystals and things like that. Crystals and feathers and them sort of things, because it is elements of the natural world and the world of nature. But obviously, candles representing the element of fire and representing insight, intention, and other things. They use all of these elements in their craft. Now, a lot of their work would go into their chores in their home, whether this is cooking, hoovering, laundry, running around after the kids, cooking your husband's food, um, holding a party at your house, or having a book evening with your friends. You will find that a Hearth Witch will always put her love and attention into a home, so that anyone coming into a home, or anyone, including herself, living in that home, is always going to feel at peace and at one. You will normally quite much of the time find that Hearth Witches, if they've got families as well, intend to follow their traits as well. So it's not just one person, it's the whole family. Normally they would come together if they're learning, and they pick up things from the mum. Even if they don't become fully fledged a Hearth Witch, they have that ability to understand it and have that respect. And you'll find that a lot of these sorts of practitioners' families are very laid back and very calm. Some of them, I would even say, come as far as being like hippified and very witchified. Okay. With Hearth Witches, when they do their chores and their workings, like us every day, when we do certain things, we sit and we think it's a chore and we don't want to do it, and it stresses us out, or we just can't be bothered or tired. With the Hearth Witch, as much as she probably feels like that way sometimes, she puts that positive energy into those things. She thinks about what those things represent to her and to her family with her doing that, like cooking the food, as it said in what I wrote and spoke to you about, that cooking food and putting your love and intention, you know that you're feeding someone as well as giving them that love and that intention, that protection, that good luck, that happiness, whatever the spell is that you put into your food is going to go to your family and be within the home. So doing your cooking, you're feeding and you're putting good intention in. When you're cleaning, such as doing your clothes washing, when you're folding that clothing up and you think it's taking long and you're ironing, you know that that's going to keep somebody warm that's in your family that you love, and it's going to have a purpose to make sure that they're well and they're healthy. Okay. Then you've got like your rituals and your cleansings of your home. Now you'll find that Hearth Witches very regularly will cleanse, bless their homes due to working inside and outside. They do a lot of work in the garden as well. They like to work with herbs and flowers and plants. They like to grow their own stuff 9 times out of 10, whether it's vegetables or it's herbal, magical plants for their practices, whatever it is, to use in their foods or use as a normal practice. That's something I do need to specifically express to you. They don't just use forms of magic through doing laundry chores and doing their cooking and, maybe doing a little like prayer outside. They do full-blown rituals and spells like myself, using candles, using other elements, but they're not really the types of witches that will go out and find those things. They will make what they need through what they have in their home. So it's more secret and more special to them. But they will perform normal magic as well, helping other people. They, as I said, are very much witches that work with the earth magic and earth healing, as well as doing that with people as well. So they're very, very connected to Mother Earth and Mother Nature, very connected to the elements. Elements are very powerful in a Hearth witch's life. It brings many different characteristics into her life. It brings many characteristics into her home and into her practices. And as any witch will tell you, the elements are very much part of us because we are Mother Earth's children. And we have the connections of our elements, our earth, our universe, and everything else within. So it's understandable to why she would be so connected to the elements. Most witches are connected to nature and to elements. Just some witchy practitioners, spiritual practitioners, do their practices in a slight different way because it may be just nature based and home based. You will find 9 times out of 10 that, as I said, these witches do like to work on their own. They like to be their own boss. They like to have their own tranquility, calmness, and peace within the home, and they're always working to make sure they're bringing that through. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that it's helped you to be a bit more educated on what the Hearth Witch is, and it gives you a little bit more insight into who she is, how she works, how she practices. And if you think that you're a Hearth Witch, you do know that you can do research and studying online, look in books. You can follow other spiritual practitioners and other spiritual witches, shaman, druids, whoever you feel to follow. There is always going to be elements and ways in this world that can help to educate you through research, study, and practice. Practice is key. It's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to not completely understand everything. But the more that you practice, research, and study, the more you become prone to your practice, to your own magic, and you become familiar with what you're supposed to do. Remember, when doing these sorts of practices and coming into these practices, it's very important that anything you research or you come to find through vision, because maybe you're working with elements and energies you work with as well, and they're helping you to understand. Write down anything that you pick up or you see or you feel, because all of this will help you in your journey on to being a witch, and in this case, a Hearth witch. So happy studying. And I hope that you do find your path. I hope you have again enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will tune in for the next video, which I'm going to be talking about the hedge witch, the electric witch, and the solitary witch. Then I have got a few more after that as well. As I said to you, I'm only really doing the videos on the main and most popular worked witches that are in practice. All of the other ones that I read to you out of the 45 witches, I will do throughout time when I've got the time. I have so many shows and things I'm having to do and make videos for. I'm not just downloading something and just putting it onto YouTube. I'm having to research and actually physically do the reading of the research and stuff I found and make the video myself to be able to educate you. It's all done purely by me taking the time to do this. So I do hope that this is helping you to have a better understanding. Just remember that to be true, be real, be comfortable, and be proud of who you are. Remember that if you're going to come into the craft, make sure that you're doing it for the right reason and there's a big purpose for you doing it. Witchcraft is not something you can just come into then decide to leave. Once you make that oath and that connection with witchcraft, is with you for life. So know that it is something that you want to do, because witchcraft is not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. It's you. So make sure that you are fully aware and fully know that these are the paths you would want to take. So thank you for watching. Tune in to my next video on the Hedge Witch. I hope that you've enjoyed this video about the Hearth Witch, and I will see you all very, very soon. And thank you for watching. I say a merry parting to you all, my angels, and I will talk to you very, very soon. And from myself, Willow, have a blessed evening, and thank you for being here. Blessed be.